just barking dogs. அதனால தான் கத்திக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம்.
ஊராடா இது? படிப்புக்கேத்த வேலை இல்ல, வேலைக்கேத்த சம்பளம் இல்ல, கட்டுற டாக்ஸ்க்கு தகுந்த ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸ் கிடைக்கிறது இல்ல.
நம்மளாம் ஆளாளுக்கு ஊரை குறை சொல்லிக்கிட்டே இருக்கும். சிஸ்டம் சரியில்லை, சரி பண்ணணும் வாய்க்கையே பேசுவோம். ஆனா அது சரி செய்யறதுக்கு ஒரு துரும்ப கூட கிள்ளி போடுறது இல்ல. இவங்க எல்லாரையும் கடிச்சு கொதற ஒரு ஹண்டிங் டாக் வரணும்.
அப்படி யாரா இருக்கா?
இருந்தாரு.
இந்தியன்.
அவர் திரும்பி வரும்.
இது இரண்டாவது சுதந்திர போர். காந்திய வழியில நீங்க, நேதாஜி வழியில நான். ஓடவும் முடியாது, ஒளியவும் முடியாது.
Hello, I'm Manushree. And I'm Navina. And this week's family movie was Indian 2. So Indian 2 just released about 1 day ago in India, I think. It's directed by Shankar and it stars Kamal Haasan. And it's the second movie or accompaniment to Indian 1, which I don't know when that was released. When was it released, Dave?
I think 96.
1996. So we weren't born.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
So after fact checking, we did realize that Indian 1 is actually 1996, which was a very long time ago. So actually, I think I watched some of it, but I was really young when I watched it, so I didn't really understand the subject matter. So obviously, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It's probably because Kamal Haasan's like my favorite actor, like in Tamil cinema, so that's why I really like the movie. But it's really catered towards the younger audiences. There's a lot of social media happening. You want to say something? What do you think about the movie?
I mean, a lot of people are saying that it was very bad and like disappointing and stuff. I honestly thought it was fine. There was a lot that was very unneeded, I feel like, but it was still like a very engaging movie. Like there was just a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have included. I could name that all now, but it's very specific.
Yeah, like some fights.
Okay.
Definitely really drawn.
Some of the fights were weird. The start of the movie, it literally started immediately. Like there was no introduction to anything. It was like the start of the movie felt like the rest of the movie, so it wasn't like a good introduction. Kamal Haasan had too much makeup on. There was something going on with his face that was not normal. They shouldn't have put that much on. And then he had weird hair. Yeah, that's.
I think it's because he has. Okay, so in the first Indian movie, he is disguised as an old man, but he's not like that old, right? He has like some sort of. He does like a lot of disguises or something. So I think that's the same thing he's doing in this movie.
Oh.
But he looked very. Yeah, I mean.
It looked weird.
They did the same makeup that they do like on old movie actors, right, to make them look a little young. So
plus they did that thing where they put stuff on his face that was way lighter than his actual skin tone, which is.
But yeah, but honestly, I think the movie definitely, it was a really nice continuation like of the first movie. The first movie is very much about like corruption and bribery and how it like appears in all sorts of societal establishments such as, you know, hospitals, police stations, things like that. So I mean that's a really good first movie. The second movie is like, again, continues off of that, but then it talks about how these I think a direct quote from the movie is how these bribes of like a few lakhs, few hundred lakhs have turned into almost like crores, what are the words, like millions, like that much money just kind of taken and, you know, stolen by really big shot people. So that's what the second movie is really all about. And so
it's about starting to like fight bribery and like bad things from your family, which is like honestly it was very weird. I was like, this is very unrealistic, which I was like, that's not gonna happen if you think about it. No one's gonna say anything if their family's doing something wrong. Like they care about their family.
Also, in order for society to function, corruption has to be present, and that's
just
I feel that's hard though, because the entire Indian movie like franchise is literally about how corruption is bad and how eradicating it would make a better society, which ideally in a utopic society, yes, it works, like, oh yeah, everyone is happy, those kind of things. But we now know because of imbalance, that's how society is able to function. So the entire premise of the movie is like, at first it's okay, you know, it's like, oh, like sniff out the governmental employees who are, you know, like really you know, who are in corruption, taking bribes, things like that. But then it turns into, but just sniff out crime everywhere. And, you know, like just to be perfect, strive to be a perfectionist, things like that. Which again, you have people, Siddharth is in the movie, and for a bunch of other actors. I know that Siddharth and some of his friends are in the movie, and, you know, they look up to Indian Tata. So they want to obviously report on the corruption in their own lives, and that can't stop at their own family members. So obviously a spoiler, but all of the family members of the people who are trying to like do good, you know, they are involved in corruption. So the movie's weird. Like, it's weird because it's like you have these people who are putting their parents in danger, and it's incredibly dramatic.
It would never happen in real life.
Yeah.
Like, it was very unrealistic. Also, all the like whatever Kamal Hassan does, Barmum or whatever, was very. It was entertaining. It was just very weird sometimes. I will not get into.
I think it's a nice it's a nice break from the really cheesy action scenes that we see nowadays. I think like the Varmam stuff, like that's...
Also, he was on that weird bike thing for way too much of the movie. He like stole this wheel thing. I don't know. He was on it for like 20 minutes in this movie, and I was like, this old man. Oh. Well, he's supposed to be old in the movie. And I was like, this is not believable. But the one good thing that they did is like they addressed the whole idea that like trying to be perfect is wrong within itself. Like trying to target all these people that are committing crimes, you're committing a crime yourself when you're doing that. And so like at the end, he kind of got like everyone started hating him and told him to go back, you know. So that was like nice.
The entire movie is hypocritical of itself.
Yeah.
Like the entire movie says something and then it goes off, like goes back on that.
It
so
deals
it's really
with it
weird.
the opposite way that you should do it.
And the way it ends, like I didn't like the ending at all because I feel like the ending was just so abrupt. And it's like Indian
At, like,
3
the
coming
start.
soon. And I was like, okay, like okay, all right, like, you know, again, like the entire franchise is about how corruption is bad, violence is bad, war is bad, but without these kind of things, our world really can't exist. You know, we can't have.
It's just cycle. It's just the way it is.
We can't have hospitals, police stations.
I mean, of course, like
Law.
India corruption is especially bad.
Yeah.
But that's just not the way to deal with it, like they did in the movie.
But yeah, I mean, but honestly, premise is great. Like I fully sat down the entire 3 hours for that movie. I was actually engaged the entire time. So I mean, I really liked it.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting, and they had like. It didn't just, I think Indian 1 focuses on just Tamil Nadu, but this one focused like all over India. So I really appreciated that. We had like a lot of good representation from different parts of India and how corruption is present. And you know, I think they had corruption present in the anti-corruption agency and government, which was, I've never seen that in a movie before. So I thought that was very, very cool. But yeah, obviously we need to discuss about cinematography, blah, blah, blah. Okay, wait, 1 second. Really one quick thing. There is some sort of item song that happens like
Out of
at the
nowhere,
beginning of the
there's no reason for this movie, this
yes
song to be in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's just there, and I didn't even remember it because it had nothing to do with the movie.
It's to establish, I guess, the guy like he's trying, I don't know who was the guy, Amit or something, some guy like a big business tycoon is stolen a lot of money from the bank, settles in like some sort of, is it Taiwan? Some foreign country, and he's like helping models shoot like calendars. There's just this like 5-minute straight song, and it's incredibly like, I don't know, it's just not appropriate like for a kid audience. And when you're in the US, I've learned, when you're in the US watching an Indian movie, US theaters think of that movie as not rated, so they're going to just assume everyone there can they can see like mature content. So then you're having this, I don't know, like you're going to this movie to see like Kamal Hassan or like these big stars who like your children look up to, but then you have like these unnecessary like 5, 6, 7 minute like, I don't know, like these annoying item songs, and that was just completely unnecessary. I was not happy at all that was there. I'm like, I don't even know why you needed to have a song that long. Like,
actually, I'm pretty sure I left and refilled popcorn during that part. I was so annoyed. I was like, why is this here?
That was the intermission break. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that honestly could have completely just done without that in the movie. That did nothing. That accomplished nothing. Same as how we had like a bunch of fight scenes that accomplished nothing. Like I love the music that's like, oh, it's like a montage. It shows like a backstory. That's...
There was one fight scene that was very cool, I feel like.
Which fight
It was
scene?
like the end fight scene with all the weird like wrestler guys. There was some cool
Oh yeah, they
shots
showed
in
like the cool like nerve endings.
whatever.
This thing, yeah. But like that was cool. I'm just saying like that. I liked the movie, but that entire like music video at the beginning, like no, not good at all. Like please, like don't put that in any more movies because like you have kids in that movie theater. Like oh my gosh, like I was really like irritated to see that.
Anyway.
But yeah, anyway, but cinematography wise, literally the movie is like all over the world, and they have really good cinematography. What they have like a
They also they have all those like shots of different parts of India for like 2 seconds, but it's good shots, so it's like they put effort into that.
That's true. And I think like I don't know, like they have good representation of the different people from
they had
India,
like all the different states,
which is good. How was there was a scene of like a Gujarati wedding, and I think like the dad like owns gold everything, which I think is, I don't know if it's realistic. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
I really thought that entire scene was like a jab at like the Ambani wedding that's happening right now, and I thought that was a really interesting. You know, like we have a big shot wedding happening right now, like in the news, and you know, it's really cool to see this movie because I think they were jabbing at that. I think they were jabbing at a lot of like political figures and things that are happening in society right now. Especially at the end, they were talking about war, and I was really happy to see that they were still addressing war, considering there's war going on as we speak at this moment.
in the world
So
right now.
yeah, actually at the end it was really cool because I think we were all ready to go, and then he said like sit down.
No, he didn't say that. Was
Or-
Cole's.
Oh no! He also said sit
Wait, he
down for
did?
5 minutes. And
I
so-
thought that was Cole's. Sorry.
Shout out to Coles and Co. But yeah, he literally said, "Don't get up, sit down." And so all of us just sat down.
Actually, a bunch of people did stand up and then come back. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then all of us sat down, and then it was like advertising for Indian Food, which genius advertising. Whoever did that was very, very smart. So, yeah. But ultimately, great watch. I loved it. What do you think about the music?
I don't remember the music at all. I'll be honest.
You were talking about the weird
I mean,
vocals.
yeah, there were some weird vocals. There were some very odd choices with this. Oh god, I don't even know. There was this one song where they were trying to hype up. Oh, Siddharth is in this movie, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to hype him up, and there were just some weird sound effects. I don't know. It made me embarrassed to watch. To be honest, a lot of stuff makes me embarrassed.
A lot of stuff makes Evan embarrassed. She was like curling in her seat the entire
Yeah,
time.
it was pretty bad. But like, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It was too loud. I feel like all
Indian movies are too
all
loud.
Indian movies are way too loud.
I preferred this hype. The hype in this movie compared to like Rajani and Vijay. I'm sorry, I'm
Kalki-
biased. I'm really
Kalki had like a
biased.
30-minute hype for that one guy, and I was like, that's... Yeah, this is the kind of hype you need. Like,
Yeah,
it
this
shouldn't
is-
be long.
This is good hype. Also, you could kind of tell that people were celebrating Kamal Hassan and not Indian in that movie.
Yeah.
But you can tell that in all movies, and that's not a big deal. But yeah, ultimately, I really like the movie. You guys should definitely go watch it.
It was a very long movie.
However, you're going to see on every other platform that everyone hated the movie. So
It was interesting. It was too long. I mean, the movie itself, it never got boring, but I always feel like you should never make a movie that's like more than 2 hours.
yeah.
You shouldn't make 3-hour long movies. There should be any 3-hour movies that should be like period movies, because those are always very interesting, and I feel like those are the only kind of movies that should be that long.
Yeah.
And then also the whole thing, like, in America, and I think every other country, actually I don't know, might just be America, but like when it says interval or intermission on the screen, it just says that. Nobody actually...
There's no
takes a
such thing
break.
as an intermission in
Yeah,
American
you just,
movies.
it
I've
says
never seen one.
intermission and the movie keeps going. So it's like, you can't sit 3 hours through this movie.
Yeah,
and
you
not
can't.
lose some
You can't. You
interest.
can't buy your Coke and your popcorn and then like.
And
be
then you
happy.
go use the bathroom and come back and someone's dead on the screen.
Granted, I sat for all 3 hours of this movie. I struggled, but I sat through it because I was like, it's Kamal Hassan, so I was gonna sit and watch it. But yeah, another thing I wanted to say, in the movie, I think Kamal Hassan says, if you're above 40 years old, don't listen to my words, or like, if you're above 40 years old, basically don't worry about what I'm saying. His messages are for the younger people, those under 40. But what I was thinking is, I think if you're above 40 years old, you're going to like the first movie more than the second movie.
I think anyone would like the first movie.
Really? Okay.
I liked
think
the first one better. It was more classic.
this one really caters to the younger audience, so therefore I think it'll be enjoyed more by a younger audience. Like, social media is a huge part. The entire movie is about 4 people who create a YouTube channel,
yeah.
basically, you know, sniffing out corruption, and then, you know, kind of rebringing. I mean, there's a lot of like use of hashtags and lots of social media and lots
They
of like.
they like made these really nice emotional scenes, but then they ruined it with the hashtags sometimes. Like whenever Siddharth, like, there's this really tragic thing that happens in the end, and he just, I don't know, it's very tragic and it actually makes you feel things, and then he makes it hashtag while he's like all sad, and it's like,
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. They're
Go
at, a,
back
they're at
and
a
go.
funeral pyre, and then they just pull
Yeah.
out their phones, and
they're
I'm
like,
what?
what is this?
Like, that does not make sense. But
They
yeah.
did a great job making those like scenes, but then they failed to
They
continue.
really made it relevant though for today's society, because I think if something like that were to happen, it's very realistic. I will say though, I hated the old man animation. Like, I hated it. I'm so sorry. Like,
what?
They put a lot of
Honestly,
animation
I
in
thought
the
that was
movie.
fine. That was okay.
Yeah. One more thing. Oh, you didn't really like the animal like stuff.
Oh,
The
that was
Varma.
so weird. Like with the whole like Varmam thing, there was this one that was just so completely unrealistic. It made this person turn into an animal and then die. It was like, what? It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, the guy turned
I
into
thought
a
it was
horse.
stupid. There are these people galloping for like 5 minutes on the screen.
I don't
It's like, what is the point?
I don't know. Did they do it in the original Indian movie?
No,
when they turned into
definitely
animals?
not. I
That's
would
what I
have
thought.
remembered that.
I feel like it makes perfect sense to like hit a nerve point and like or a pressure point.
Why would
and
they
then-
turn into a horse?
That doesn't make sense. Why would they turn into a woman at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, that was weird too.
homophobic.
And the turtle. I don't know. Well, I mean.
Okay, yeah, lots of weird things happening, especially at the beginning. All the mod, like I don't know.
So yeah,
was
now that we
unnecessary.
think about it, this movie wasn't as good as we were expecting. But this movie wasn't as good as we were expecting. But it was still like.
I think good for a one-time watch.
Yeah.
I think great again continuation of the first movie. So
The first movie was better because it was more realistic and just really just more realistic.
I think you can watch this movie without watching the first movie
Yeah.
because I think it's the same premise.
But I don't see why you would do that. You should watch the first one without watching the second.
Yeah, the first one's old though. So
We've been talking for like 10 minutes.
hello, I thought you should know that it's right now 12 a.m. and we're filming this review at 12 a.m.
And I was gonna do this.
So help us, please.
Okay, I was.
வரணும்னு குத்திட்டாரா
Okay.
டெல் பண்ணிடுவா
Yeah.
No, you can keep it. Keep it. Bloopers.
Why do you hate me? Okay. Okay. The reason why the music is so like I forgot it all is because it was kind of unmemorable compared to the first film. Like that's what my dad said, and I also agree with him.
Because your dad said
The music was so like
Anirudh.
generic. Okay, that's a little much.
It was Anirudh, and you could tell it was Anirudh. And
I couldn't tell it was anything.
I have no hate towards that.
It was just like the music was very generic, so it wasn't memorable, so it kind of wasn't good. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah, but honestly, Navin and I we enjoyed the movie.
She
I think
enjoyed
I liked the
I
movie.
feel like there are better uses of my time.
Why are you so mean?
I just feel this way.
Yeah.
No, but it was fine.
If you've gotten this far from watching, thank you so much. It's 12 a.m. right now, just so you know. We actually just went and watched the movie.
Please report for child abuse.
Don't say that. Anyway, we just wanted to say, I wanted to say, I don't know if Navin has a heart like I do, but obviously we watched this with like a good chunk of our Tamil community, and
Oh, that was fun.
we love our Tamil community here in Chattanooga. We love you, Koz Uncle, and Vikram Uncle.
Chess Uncle.
Vikram Uncle, like, you know, we really appreciate your support. I mean, the entire time we were watching, they were like, when's the movie review? So I think we've become micro-celebrities. I hope we just stay micro-celebrities. That would be nice. But
Not macro, please.
but yeah, we really appreciate just your support, and we love. I mean, I loved like sitting in that auditorium and hearing you guys scream and yell. You know, even though it, like made us deaf, like it's still really really fun because you almost like bring that Indian movie theater experience, you know, in the US. So I highly recommend that you definitely watch an Indian movie in a US movie theater. However, either wear a diaper or do not.
Oh.
However, there will be no intermission, so don't eat or drink anything. Or if you do, good luck. But yeah,
Okay, thank you.
it's 12 a.m. You can
Thanks
tell.
for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Or
What about the
I'm not
rating?
saying- Oh, the rating.
Oh.
I would say like a 7 or 8 out of 10.
I would say an 8 out of 10.
Okay, bye.
Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Or Lavina might.
No, no. Just cut, please. No, I'm
Or our dad will give you some varmam. Is that how you say it?
வரணும்
This thing. We'll see you for Indian 3. I need to sneeze. Can you put the
Shitty, I'm not doing that. You can do it. You can put it in the video. Bye.